Hey, what's up? This is Thea Austin, and I'm live from Miami, baby, for Lady of the House. Get into it.
God, I've worked in this music now for 25 years, and I know that you've worked in it a lot longer than I have, and that track is still fresh. It's so fresh.
Thank you, Layla. Thank you. You know, the UK is the first country that made Rhythm as a Dancer platinum.
Yeah.
That's where my first platinum record came from, is the UK.
Yeah.
And then what I Can't Get Enough was Soul Searcher.
Yeah.
The UK turned around and did it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so props to the UK. I'm trying to get back there, bring me back.
Why do you think you were so well received in the UK?
Just because the people in the UK are lovers of music, period, love music, love good vibes music, and timing is everything, when that song came through, I think maybe drum and bass was just coming through too, maybe, so it just fit the feel.
Fit the feel.
It just fit the feel, and the UK, they're not gonna blow every song up, so it's gotta have some feeling, just like in the U.S. You gotta have that feeling. So it's just all about the feels, and timing for what style of music was happening. Yes.
Yeah. And why is it so important right now to be, translating these classics into a new format and also pushing it back to a younger audience for them to understand that?
Because, it's like, if the elders are lost, the young adults are lost. If the young adults are lost, the children are lost. If we forget about the music that came before now, we kind of lose something in the movement of the evolution of humanity, the evolution of music. So, we got to bring the classics back. We got to keep that feeling flowing so that the younger generations can understand where it came from, that it just didn't happen. Their music is not here, just because they created it. Their music stems out of what came before them. Mm-hmm. Now, the format that our girl Crystal Waters is bringing to the forefront right now, that the UK has been doing for quite a while, is I Am House Orchestrated. So that elevates these classic songs to a live orchestra where there are strings and horns and a full band. So a lot of times with dance music, house music, can't always afford the band. So it's playback. We're singing the playback, pre-recorded music. So with this forum, it's all musicians that have paid their dues, that like us, singing since we're 4 years old, writing songs since we can write, these musicians that are on that stage tonight, they learned their craft, they studied, and it's important for the young generation, especially in AI. I'm not against AI, I'm using AI now a little bit, but so that they can understand true musicianship, how music is created in a natural form with acoustic, with instruments, that they don't lose that, So them hearing this, seeing this, feeling this, they can understand where it comes from, and that everything is not generated in a digital form, and that also there is a dues paying process of learning a craft, of honing in on it, refining it, and making it feel the best that it can feel. So when they see here, this that Crystal is making possible for us this evening, and there are a lot of more forums out there like this, but we're talking about this one here and now. Crystal Waters is bringing I Am House Orchestrated for the people to remember, and she's given the artists that have these iconic songs giving us our flowers right now, so it's the reciprocal, the give and receive, and I think that's what the youngins should see, and that people like us should remember that and not forget where it came from, and uphold the light on it and serve it with love, and and that comes back to us, and we feel good about being able to deliver it and for the people to feel it, and we need it, and so Crystal Waters has made that possible for us this evening, and we hope that her forum continues to grow, and hopefully we'll be back to the UK to shine a light on it.
Yeah, amazing. And Lady of the House is an initiative. It's been set up to celebrate women in dance music. We wrote a book, you're mentioned in the book. Carl Cox did the foreword. We've got some amazing women in there. Some gave their stories, some we mentioned, because we really, just felt. I've worked in the business for 25 years and looked when in my career where women hadn't been recognised and hadn't been given their flowers, how has it been for you being a woman in this industry from day dot? And also, why is it important for women to support women?
I'll lead with that. It's very important for women to support women. I just had a moment with my friends Shannon and Ann Robiness, and that moment that just happened before I got here helped to settle my energy, where I was having frenetic energy about some things that didn't flow like it should have, And so we stand in the gap for each other, and we support each other. We pray together. We learn together. We teach together. We are students in this game of life. It's so important for women to support each other because the world divides us sometimes. And there's the masculine, the divine masculine, the divine feminine, and masculinity has stood in its place for so long, and it has us in a position sometimes where we're struggling to be heard, struggling to be seen, struggling to have a voice, struggling to get equal pay. And that is a challenge for women in business, women in all kind of positions, in marriage and having children. It is, it's like a battle of the sexes. And all I can say is really that women should really continue to love each other, support each other, talk with each other, understand each other, communicate well, teach other people how to communicate. Communication is the essence of understanding each other, of developing new ideas, of and the lady of the house, that says a lot right there, whether it is your home, whether it is in this forum tonight, I Am House Orchestrated, that we are unique beings. Women are unique beings. We have the essence of our souls, loving, kind, understanding, intelligent, a lot of fortitude, a lot of inner strength, a lot of endurance and resilience, and it's been pushed down throughout one culture after the other, and then women broke through in certain ways to be allowed to work, be allowed to vote, allowed to have ownership in business, and to be a mother and have a profession, a career, and it's not always easy for women to support. To succeed in corporate worlds, in professions like, say, lady of the house, to start new businesses, to have funds that support it, and so still cutting through a lot of red tape to have ownership in your business, your profession, and but women, we're some of the strongest beings on the planet, and we have carved out a place in this world for us to succeed in life at whatever levels that we're working on. And like I said earlier, my friends Shannon and Ann and Robiness really stood in the gap for me and calmed my frenetic energy so that I could come stand here and do this and talk to you, Layla, and express and be able to answer your questions without that frenetic energy interrupting the flow that was supposed to happen. So we bring a lot to the table. Women bring a lot to the table. Our level of intelligence and compassion. And when we just show up and be who we are, we make changes happen. And I think a lot more of us should be presidents and and you know,
Say
have
that one again.
you know, full ownership in a lot of in various dimensions. And so yeah, women should definitely support each other and, you know, cut out the nonsense and really stand in the gap for each other. We need each other. We deserve each other, and we could go. I think we could go much further when we stand together as a united force. Yeah, I said a mouthful, but
Do you know what? Everything you said has answered every other single question, because you know it's all in there, and it's all part of it. You know, and we need to hear this wisdom from your generation, because you know we're bringing up the next generation. I've got a 21-year-old. We need to take this from you to pass that to them.
Indeed.
You know.
Indeed, and I'm a young elder, so it is really truly I would take it to the grave with me that, you know, I'm here to serve, period. And if I'm lost, I can't help the generation before me, and they can't help the generations before them. So each one teach one.
I love it.
You know.
Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome,
everything
Layla.
you've done, and thank you for providing the soundtrack to my youth. I had a great
shucks.
time.